Hello. The topic of today's lesson is solving word problems that involve fractions, especially addition and subtraction, multi-step problems frequently. So let's read number 7. We are on page 53 of our textbooks. At a fair, 3/8 of the visitors are boys, 1/3 are girls, and 1/8 are men. The rest are women. What fraction of the visitors are children? Well, they've already constructed a bar model for us, which you may or may not draw yourself if you don't have one, because this problem is pretty straightforward. So at a fair, who is the problem talking about? It's talking about B for boys, M for men, W for women, and G for girls. What is the problem talking about? It says that 3/8 of the visitors were boys. Let's label. Let me pick up a different color, a nice bright color. Let's label 3 out of 8 are boys. 1/3 are girls. You don't have to make precise drawing, and 1/8 are men. So the first question is, what fraction of the visitors are children? Well, children are boys and girls all together, right? So boys are 3/8 and girls are 1/3. So do we have a common denominator? No. What is the common denominator of 8 and 3? In other words, what is the LCM, least common multiple of 8 and 3? It is 24. Therefore, 3/8, we need to multiply 3 times and create an equivalent, which is 9 out of 24. And 1/3, we need to multiply 8 times to create an equivalent, which would be 8 out of 24. Therefore, the answer to the question is 17/24 are children. Straightforward addition problem. Now, here we go. They have it for you right here. Part B. What fraction of the visitors are female? Well, I hope we all agree that females include women, adult females, and girls, younger females. Well, how many women are there? Oh, we do not know how many women because the rest are women. So let's write down what we know. We do know that 1/3 are girls. 1/3 are girls. Therefore, how can we find out the women, the section of women? There are multiple ways to go about it. Actually, another strategy would be, let me erase this. Let me erase this model. Yes, we can find out women, we can find out girls and add those two parts together. Or alternatively, we can say, look, we have women and girls is this section, right? Those are our females. So everything, 3/8 minus 1/8, right? So we can say the following: 1/2 minus boys and men. So it's 3/8 plus 1/8. Therefore, we have the same as 1 minus 4/8, which is a half. Therefore, 4/8 are female and 4/8 are men. We can say 1/2 are female attendees, females. Okay, next problem, number 8. 1/6 of the group are children. What is given? We know that 1/6 of the group are children, and 1/10 are boys. What fraction of the group of people are girls? Well, we do know that children include boys and girls. I hope we all know that. So if 1/10 are boys, we do not know girls. That is what we need to find out. And altogether, children are 1 out of 6. How do we find a missing part? We know that all of the children are 1/6. We know that some of them, meaning 1/10, are boys. The rest are girls. We use subtraction to find a missing part. Therefore, 1/6 minus 1/10 gives us, well, we do not have a common denominator. What is the LCM of 6 and 10. I hope you're not telling us 60 because that is not the least common multiple. The smallest common multiple is 30. So let's find equivalent fractions out of 30 equal parts. 1/6 has to multiply. In fact, let me not do it this way. Let me multiply the top, the numerator, and the denominator by 5. I think that makes better sense for you, friends. So 5 out of 30 are children. Out of them, 3/30 are boys. That gives us 2 out of 30 are girls, or simplified is 1/15 are girls. I hope you understood that we use subtraction to find a missing part. Let's talk about the next problem about Edna and her sister. So Edna's sister is 3/4 of a meter tall. Edna is 3/10 of a meter taller. So find Edna's height. The 3 W's of problem solving. The 3 W's is who is the problem talking about? What is the problem talking about? And why are they asking us to solve it? In other words, what is the question? So who is the problem talking about? It's talking about a sister and Edna, or Edna's sister. What is the problem talking about? It is talking about the height, their height. What do we know about sister's height? That she is 3/4 of a meter tall. Edna is 3/10 of a meter taller. My friends, do we make shorter bar, longer bar, or same bar for Edna? Well, of course, if Edna is taller, she deserves a taller bar. And there will be some difference, correct? This is the difference between their height. And they told us that the difference is 3/10. And what is the question? Find Edna's height. This is the question. Let's go. In order to find Edna's height, and we know she's taller, we would be adding 3/4 plus 3/10 of a meter, right? The problem told us Edna is 3/10 of a meter taller. 4 and 10. Do we have a common denominator? Absolutely not. What is the common denominator for 4 and 10? I hope you would agree with me that it is 20. 20. That means 3/4 need to be multiplied times 5 in order to create an equivalent. It's equivalent to 15/20, and 3/10 has to be doubled, right? Double the number of parts becomes 6 out of 20. So now that we have a common denominator, it is very simple for us to add the two fractions, and we have 21 out of 20. We must simplify our answer, and 21 out of 20 is 1 meter and 1/20 tall. And that is Edna's height. Number 10, Fariz and Gary each have a container of 3/4 liter of water. Fariz adds 5/6 of a liter of water to his container, and Gary adds 3/8 of a liter of water to his container. The questions are, who has more water now and how much more? Well, let's apply the same steps to problem solving. The 3 W's. First question we should answer. Who is the problem talking about? Fariz and Gary. Let's label F for Fariz and G for Gary. Now, what is the problem talking about? It's talking about their containers of water. So let's give them, little beakers or cylinders, whatever you guys like to call these. And we know, what do we know? We know that each have a container with 3/4 liter of water. So maybe 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Let's shade this. So this is the amount of water that Fariz and Gary each started with. Let's label. This is the 3/4 of a liter to start with. 3 out of 4 equal parts of a liter. Fariz Fariz adds 5/6 of a liter. So Fariz adds 5/6 of a liter. Gary adds 3/8 of a liter. Who has more now? Well, we are comparing, right? Who added more water? Well, which fraction is greater? Let's compare. 5/6 or 3/8. First of all, do our fractions have the same denominator? No. Let's bring them to the common denominator so we can compare them easily. Now, we know that 6 and 8 have a common denominator of 24. And we do know that 8 goes into 24 3 times, and 6 goes into 24 4 times. Therefore, this 20 out of 24 is the equivalent, or 9 out of 24. Now we can clearly see that Fariz added more water, right? 5/6 is greater than 3/8. Who has more water now? It is Fariz. Has more. H2O. I love labeling it like that, right? How much more? Well, my friends, we can just compare the difference. So I would say to answer that second question, so this was part A, and part B, I would say, how much more does Fariz have? Let's find the difference. So Fariz added 20 out of 24, and Gary added 9 out of 24. So how much more does Fariz have now? Fariz has 11/24 of a liter more. Okay? That's the difference between the boys' beakers now, okay? 5/6 we can write down, same as 20 out of 24, and 3/8 is the same as 9 out of 24. I hope you found this lesson useful on problem